and welcome back to the pre-production meeting. I'm your co-host, Josh Urquhart.
And I'm your better co-host, Daniel Kugola.
And this is episode 49. Welcome back to another week where we talk film news, film stuff, our film progress, and we are joined today with special guest co-hosts, Lexee Gordoun and Nanzout. How are we? Holy crap.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry for that.
How are you guys?
Much better now.
I was good until you just undermined me just then. I'm not sorry at all. I'm not sorry why.
I meant for the ears because you just picked the mic.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I got a little bit excited. It's been a while.
Now, Lexee, how are you? It's been a cracking, wild last couple of weeks for you.
It's been good. Yeah. Finally wrapped up a feature like
What?
2 days ago.
Oh, no.
feature.
I thought you meant you've already wrapped up Sashas Games feature.
Yeah, done.
Insane.
Yeah. 3 weeks turnover.
Crazy turnaround.
Yeah. No, so very relaxed now.
Yeah.
Which is good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm actually, you know what? Now I'm good. These last couple days have been probably some of the most stressful of my life. You know, Jay, how are you?
Hello.
Now, you did play a part, not really with the stress, but you were there with me these last couple days.
Yeah, but I apologise. So I feel like that makes up for it a little bit.
How have you been, Jay?
I'm a bit tired, man.
Yeah? Why are you tired?
For those of you who do not know, there is a little documentary behind the scenes blend coming out for Ozmar for the premiere.
Wow.
And I've been slaving away the past 3 days making it and editing it all. And I severely underestimated how long it would take, or overestimated.
Well,
I
not
didn't even
really.
know.
I mean, how long did it take in days?
Yeah, but how? But you know how many years I've aged in those 3 days doing it? How many greys have grown?
How many months have been since you had the footage?
I've got a half a head of silk.
Yeah, Jay, what happened with that? It's just exposing.
And that is not mapping.
But are you happy with the final product?
Bro, I'm so stoked with it. And
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that I begged you for an extra day.
Yeah.
It was so bad before. I don't know if I told you then, but it was like the due date was yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'd work that started at 7. And I woke up 8 a.m. I was editing. I locked myself in the games room for no distractions, which seems like a good idea from the start. Lock myself in the room with all the games so I don't get distracted. And I was like, yep, that's it. Did like 16 hours of editing. I'm not sure if those maths add up. What's 8 a.m. till?
Oh, no, I'm
6
sorry.
a.m.
Not your person.
It's about 8 hours actually. I kind of
Yeah,
overshot there. Sorry.
Yeah.
It was like crunching away at it, and I was like, yep, sweet. I'm gonna get this done, easy peasy.
Yeah.
It was not easy peasy. It was actually difficult.
But you got it done.
You got it done. And
Yeah, because I cried to Josh over the phone. I was like, please, please give me another day, man.
and when I said yes, I got a very nice message. Should we get up the receipts? Yeah. I'll read it. I'll read it out.
Oh, are you about to expose me?
No, it was a very nice message.
I was
that's so
I was
cute.
getting all mushy.
After we got hold on, let me just try to find it. After he got off the phone, he sent me a very nice message. He's like, I could kiss you right now, a big wet one right on the mouth. And my heart melted in that moment.
I'm a romantic guy. What can I say?
Well, Jay, what can I say? I'll tell you what I can say.
Jesus.
The doco is amazing.
Aww.
Is amazing, and probably
Stop
I
it.
say it matches the film in quality of exactly what I was wanting you to do with it. Okay. So we've gotten two things. We've got actually two things that we're going to show at the premiere, which are huge and are exactly what I wanted, if not better. So thank you, Jay.
Thank you, John, and thank you everyone who will be watching a behind-the-scenes video that goes for longer than the short film.
It's only just longer though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 26 minutes.
Yeah,
and
it's only 2 minutes longer.
Minutes, yeah.
But still, there was so much that I wanted to put in there. I was so devastated because I don't know if you know. Might be a secret between us two, the
Why is it a
non-essentials. That Lexee directed her own short film on the stairwell. While you
I
guys
directed it. I would say it was
Hold on.
collaborative.
and the plan
We
was
already had
to
the
run it
location,
against
like-
then the plan was to run it against Ozmar at the short film festival as a competition.
way.
And I've got the clip to prove it.
And we had
and
Domino's on as a sponsor.
Right, and what was the
We did.
what was the log line
They told
of
us.
this short film? And what was it called, actually?
I'd say it was more experimental, where it was like there was no
Abstract,
house. Yeah.
Oh,
was so-
I mean, look, it was definitely Wes inspired. That was the
I'd
vibe.
say the first part was, I don't know what happened with the second
Were you
part.
here?
I don't actually
Were you
remember.
there?
It was whoever.
No, he was needed
kicked
on
out.
set.
We were working.
we were kicked into the staircase area
Yeah.
and pizza arrived. We were hungry and did not deserve it, quite frankly. But we
Was
made
this
our own
before or
shot.
after you putting on the multis?
Death's after.
Deaths after?
But my multis might have lost by then, so yeah.
Bloody Reece Walsh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of.
it drove her to
I don't
insanity.
even know though if that was. I don't think I was betting on Reece. Like,
No, it was
like, State of
about
Origin
State of
wasn't
Origin
on-
was
No, State-
beforehand.
oh,
And you were just going
We
through talking
always
about your
shoot
Russian
around
ping
State of
pong.
Origin.
And, yeah, I know.
Russian ping pong's an easy one. That wins.
Oh, fuck.
That's what you say
It
the thing
does,
as
yeah,
well.
it
You're like,
does.
Russian ping pong always wins.
It does win. Yeah, like the stats
What
are pretty
on earth are you
accurate.
guys on about?
Yeah, soccer's
shit that
actually,
happens. Shit that happens on a film set. You just get so stressed. You got to let it out on sports bet, right?
$1
It's so
multis.
it's so
Look,
funny
it's not that
though.
bad. It could be a worse habit. Like a worse habit was the lotto.
Yeah.
Because this is toxic. I mean, look, Delulu, but like I genuinely every time I entered it, I'd spend at least $30.
I remember when you
once
went
a
through
week.
that lotto phase.
Oh my god, it was a long phase. I
Yeah.
just could have bought a house,
Yeah.
and I would
With the money
break
you
down-
lost.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
the money,
yeah,
all the
right.
money I bought, the
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and I'd break down exactly where I'd put the money every single
Jay,
time.
you look like
as
you're
if I'd
tweaking
win.
right now, bro.
I feel like I am tweaking, bro.
Gum in your
I'm
eyes.
like a crazy rabbit squirrel. You should say.
Oh.
But no, you're
Bro,
bringing
you
me
gotta
back
go home.
flashbacks as well because it's like, stop trying to kick me off the podcast, right? I finally have a platform to voice.
Talk.
You can't ignore me on the
You're
podcast,
tweaking.
Dan.
Let's.
You can't not
You know
respond
what?
to me.
Wait, listen, let's
Don't
bring it
stop.
back. All right, for a second, Jay. Actually, before we get back onto you, Dan, how was your week?
It was good. It was actually pretty eventful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To do with your progress.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's laughing?
Oh, that was not me. That
Jay. Yeah, go tell us more about it. Ignore the co-host.
Yeah, no, it was good. I want to wait till the progress to actually get
Okay.
into it, but some revelations have been made.
For your
yeah.
film.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well,
Taking
you know
some
what?
Steps forward.
That's amazing. Let's get right into the progress now because I feel like we all have a lot to touch on. And Jay, we'll start with you. Do you want to talk us through your process of editing the behind-the-scenes documentary for Ozmar? How was it? Tell us about it.
Oh, it was something all right. Definitely an experience.
Yeah.
Like just, I went in with the mentality that
Sorry, continue.
I don't know if I want to. I went in with the mentality of locking myself in a room and seeing how long I could stay there and edit before needing food or water.
Yeah.
It's actually a good challenge though to just like zone into it and try.
Yeah,
Sounds
bro.
like
I was
unhealthy
like
habits.
pretending in my head, like I felt like I was on Survivor. Like I was pretending like
Yeah.
if I get like past this challenge, like I get a bag of rice or something. You know what I mean?
You gotta do the mental tricks to get
I
through
made
it.
it paid off. So.
yeah. No safety officers here.
There's method to my madness.
So
Yeah.
I there was a lot of footage. How did you go with dealing what you put in and what you didn't?
Oh, so it went a lot better towards this morning, the early hours of the morning, compared to yesterday
Yeah.
and earlier. So at first I sat down and I was going through and I was watching them all. I sat down. This was ages ago,
Did you
by
sit
the
down?
way. This was not 3 days ago. I did
What?
sit down.
3 days ago. Did you
I
only
sat
start
down.
3 days ago?
I beg your
that what
pardon.
you just-
Accusations. False accusations.
I sort of think you just admitted it. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's all right.
Come
Anyway,
on,
it was
Dan,
like
stop
a year ago. So a year
You
ago.
fairy.
A year ago you looked at the footage.
I forgot what we were talking about.
The doco.
Right.
How did you cut down? How did you cut down?
So I sat there and I watched 3 hours worth of footage,
Yeah.
and I didn't even get through the rehearsals. And I was like, I'm not going to do that anymore. So then I went through a process for a little bit of going, eeny, meeny, miny. All right, that clip cover looks cool. I'm going to drag that in, see how that works. That didn't end up working though. So then I had to
Okay,
sit down and then
Yeah,
watch
Josh
it
is
all.
relieved. He's like, half of it's not in there.
I love it. I love it. But yeah.
Surely there is a strategy that they use because, like, think about reality TV, for example, right? They shoot so
Bro,
much stuff.
yeah.
They must have some sort of process to get through all that footage. Oh, I think actually there's people on set that make notes of like,
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
yeah, of where the notable parts are, so they can just scrub through the
Oh,
footage.
how to make
that's
drama.
genius.
You created a story though. Like there was a full story you with the main characters and everything. How did you find that?
I tried. I really tried because it's so hard because there's so many people on set at once.
Yeah.
There's so many extra, so many crew. So I really wanted to to make it a little bit personal, I thought let's zoom in on a few key people that were there pretty much throughout the whole experience, like Mariah and Coops and you and stuff.
Coops,
Connor.
Fuck me, this guy.
So that's all right.
I gotta get bed, bro.
Continue.
Ed Connor.
Yeah.
Apologise to
I'm
the
sorry,
camera.
sorry.
But it was. I remember Jay. It was hard to actually pull Connor aside to get a word with him because
Oh,
he
it
was
was
busy
so-
the whole time.
Yeah, there was that, and every single time I'd shove the camera in his face, ask Josh, I either got glares or I got
Yeah.
told, get the camera out of my fucking face.
And he actually kept one of those in there.
Yeah, I did. For one of them, he was like, don't point that camera at me while I'm talking shit. He was saying something
Muted it,
about...
mate.
Oh, bro.
I was full going to as well. I was going to make a little compilation of him if we had time.
Yeah.
Like that was the sad thing about it. Like I had so much that I wanted to
Footage,
include,
yeah.
and there were so many people that I wanted to include as well. But like, and I know 26 minutes sounds like a lot, but it's like
Nothing
with the amount of
compared to the
time,
full
with the,
scale.
like because it's in 3 parts. So it's the rehearsals, which there were 3 of. The location scouts,
Yep.
which there was 3 of, including the whole building the tent thing.
Yeah, that was funny. That's my favorite part of the thing.
Just it's so funny.
Yeah.
You don't realize how funny Josh is until you watch that video.
I didn't realize how funny I was
You never
until
thought
I
someone
watched
could
the
be
video.
funny walking a lawnmower down a hill
I was
until
going to
you
ask
see.
if that shot made it in.
100% it did, bro.
Yes.
Originally, I held it for about 45 seconds, and I
Yeah.
was like rolling on the ground laughing, and then I was like, "Nah, it's a bit overkill. I won't do
Yeah.
that to him." So I like trimmed it down to like 43, and then I was like, "Yeah, that's perfect. Bang on."
Does it play at like double speed?
No, I was going to though with like the what's the song called? You know,
Yeah,
it's like
I know what you're talking
that.
Oh my god.
But I withheld. It's normal speed.
Oh,
it's
wow.
normal everything.
That's
good.
It's something should be a treat if you guys,
And the music choice. How did you go about that?
Went through one
So
asshole.
I know that Josh, when he's not listening to wind noises in the car on the, in the way to places or the La La Land soundtrack,
Yeah,
I got him on the Mac Miller
Yeah.
Nice.
ages ago.
Ages ago, and he's like the only artist that I properly listen to.
Very good.
And during like the first rehearsal thing, I just had in my head like a little the song Congratulations? Yeah, just like the piano riff in that. I thought that'd sound perfect. So
Instrumental.
YouTube to MP3,
Yeah, baby, that's the way.
get it on, get the instrumental version on, and then it was just
And
on
the-
from there. And then I
yeah.
asked him because I was like, I wasn't sure. Originally, I got him to send all of the music
Yeah.
that Federico made from the thing.
Yeah.
But I felt like with the tone that I was going for, like the rhythmic Arabic drums didn't really work with like, you know what I mean?
Walking down a
Yeah,
lawnmower.
walking down a hill with a lawnmower. Yeah. So
It's very office
How
vibe.
bland is your Spotify Wrapped going to be?
It's always La La Land's been at the top for the last couple of years.
And then followed by
Mac
Mac Miller.
Miller.
That's crazy.
yeah, and then followed by 10 hours of
Windows is-
TV
yeah.
static to put him to sleep.
Hans Zimmer's probably in there
Hans
as
Zimmer's
well,
there this year, definitely.
That's the whole thing.
yeah.
It's like it's Mac Zimmer is like the name of like the whole musical thing.
Yeah.
So it's half of it's
Imagine
Mac
those
Miller.
two. I mean, it's obviously impossible now, but imagine they made a song
Oh,
together.
mate.
Must be nice.
Well, Hans Zimmer did make a song
be nice.
with the guys. I forgot their
No, the song's called Pompeii.
Bastille. is it?
Bastille, yeah, that's the one.
So I told him, do whatever you want, just put that song last to finish out the short, and he did. And
By God, did I?
you smashed it, mate. Thank you.
Had to pass him the tissue box while we were watching it towards the end.
I did. I actually got
Did you
quite
actually get
emotional.
emotional?
Yeah, I
Oh,
did. I got
that's
quite
sweet.
emotional. It was you.
And
fucking
his mum
nailed it.
stormed in because she could just hear Josh going, "It's amazing, it's amazing" through the doors, and she kicked down the doors like, "What the hell's going on here?" And then all was good, all was fine.
She's like, I thought I heard her voice. Oh,
But no, I'm so stoked that you liked it, man.
Yeah.
Like I was dead set driving myself crazy. My mum came down to the games room and jump scared me because I had my headphones on, blasting Max Zimmer in my head, like doing all this stuff. And she came in at 6 o'clock in the morning because all the lights were left on in the house.
Yeah.
And I came down dead set looking like this. Like she tapped me on the shoulder and I was like, I'm almost done. I'm in the zone. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. It was so bad. But yeah, we've had a couple of coffees since then.
Yeah.
Some itchy pre-workout. To
Yeah.
get
Are you going to be okay to drive?
Probably not, man. I reckon there's a lounge outside. I
Please
might
Didn't you
just
do an
yeah.
all-nighter the other
Please be
night
safe.
as well?
Oh wait, which night?
One of them. Oh no, you said you went to bed at 2:30 because the computer problems. What kept happening, man?
Yeah, it was so Funny story. It turns out that absolutely everything that I used to make this doesn't belong to me. I used my mum's photography camera to film it. I used my brother's girlfriend's laptop. I was being resourceful.
That's actually really
like,
nice of her.
Yeah, it was so. I mean, it's a spare laptop.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Spare house.
yeah, dead set.
Ideal.
But because she did music composing, so she had like the Logic X, crossed with Final Cut package thing. So I did that, but it kept running out of space, and it felt wrong.
Just keep deleting
Like going
our
like this
files.
dead set. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sitting there going, "What should I delete?"
Because this guy, he
Should I
had the
do it?
Final Cut library on his.
Wait, why didn't you
attached
put
to
it on a
the-
hard drive?
That's what I said. So he had the library on the actual computer. So everything he was doing, every clip he was adding in, was just building into this library, and you ended up having like 100 and whatever gigs.
It was like
library for Final
112
Cut.
gigs and dead set. So originally I asked her if I could clear like this thing because like I went through.
God.
I didn't go through her stuff. All right, I respect privacy, but like system storage and like you can see where all the gigs are.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you really need 78 gigs of Apple Music or something?
On your own laptop.
you know what I mean? On your computer. Is that necessary? I don't know. It was something.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was like, yeah, go on, clear
Why
it.
didn't you just use a hard drive and just move everything over?
Where were you then? Where were you when I needed you?
I was around 8 months ago for it. Oh, yeah,
Come on.
I know.
This
I'm
just feels like the
kidding.
roast of Jay.
No,
I'm
we
feeling
love
very
it. No,
targeted
we
right
love it.
now.
No, you're
With
our
someone
special
with
guest.
very liminal brain space right now.
Liminal.
Minimal.
Okay,
Did I
that's
say?
2 hours,
You
so-
see, this is what I mean. Why am I on the hot seat right now?
Fantastic. But you're happy with it, right?
So stoked. Couldn't be happier for everything that happened and all the stress that happened
Yeah.
along this 3-day journey. I was like, honestly, couldn't be happier with the thing.
Yeah.
And
But
I'm
you
so
always-
glad
I
that you
never,
liked it too.
I honestly,
Oh, God. This
It's
is going to be a long
contagious.
podcast.
I never doubted you. I knew whether or not, no matter what, you were going to get it done. You always do, and you always come through. And I love your creative brain with everything that you've done, from Meet Me at Ours to the Friend Zone documentary. I knew you were going to fucking smash this. All it took was for you to fucking get on the laptop and start doing it, that then you would put together something special, which is what we've got
He
now.
always did back you. He's always like,
I
Jay's going to
did.
pull through. Jay's going to pull through.
There were people that were like, oh, has Jay started yet? Oh, I'm sure Jay's not going to be done yet.
What?
Name and shame.
What is this?
Jay, you always
That's
think
not
that I
it.
judge you or that I'm skeptical of you, but I don't.
You need to make sure you got home safe
Let's-
while everyone else is roasting
Let's
you.
clear this up on the
Dan backs
podcast.
you. Dan backs you.
That's the cover. He goes, Jace looks really tired. I think he should leave. Like, come on, Jay. I'll
genuinely care
escort you
about
to your
your
car. You look so. You know what? I'll drive you home right now. Let's pause the doco. We'll just boot you out of here.
doco?
I see, let the record know that he hasn't slept in almost 40 hours.
That's fucking nuts, bro. You got to go to bed.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to leave now, and we'll show you out?
That timing's awful.
Because we're about to get into other people's progress, and
I'm not gonna interrupt. I can feel
Alright,
when my presence.
we're gonna change the stop and start the cameras anyway. So Jay, thank you for your little
He's been kicked out.
Thank you, Jay.
Get the fuck out.
The first co-host to be removed, evicted from the show.
I dead ass feel bad for you. You look like you're about to die. I love you, but you do.
Bro, I'm sweating.
Yeah, so am I. Lex, I don't know. Are you?
I actually have
It
to
is
say-
getting warm
Bro, I was
in
gonna
here.
say you're in a suit
It's
jacket.
Russian.
How are you?
Yeah, I know, it sucks.
Right.
Beauty is pain.
Sucks. Yeah, yeah.
Jay, on your way out, could you ask if they could turn on the aircon?
It's not on. They've got an aircon dude fixing it. He's in the roof
Okay.
at the moment.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Anyways,
Just yeah, poked through the hole
shout out,
all the time.
mate. All right, Jay. You're the best, mate. I'm so happy and I cannot wait for people to see. So grab your last minute tickets because there's still about 34 tickets left if you want to go see this man's amazing documentary. So, Jay, thank you, my friend.
Anytime, bro.
Good job, Jay.
Anytime.
We'll catch you next time. All right, now the chaos is gone.
Ouch.
Lexi,
Good job.
how are you, my friend?
Good.
The
Still
progress.
good. Yeah.
Tell us about your progress. What's been happening?
Oh,
How's the
I don't know where
premiere?
to start.
How was the premiere?
was good, honestly. It's a bit
Yeah?
of a fever dream. Like, I don't think it ever happened.
Yeah.
It's one, thank God there's video footage because I genuinely don't remember it.
It goes by so fast.
Yeah. It's like people at weddings always say, like, the one advice they give to people whose wedding it is stand in the corner and just watch for a minute because it all
Yeah.
passes by you.
Yeah.
And I was actively thinking about that the whole time and still didn't do it. But I was like, that's exactly why they probably say to do that at your wedding.
Did you have any time to yourself? Any? Like to just
That
take
night,
it in?
no, that entire day I wasn't like.
Did you just take a step back and go, wow, look what I've done?
No, I don't think I finished one sentence the entire night.
Fucking hell.
Like it was
man.
like
That's
start talking to
nice.
someone and then tap and then you're in the next conversation. And
Well, there was 400 people there to
Yeah.
do that with. That's insane.
yeah, I honestly like what was so good about the video footage, highly recommend, is I actually watched the whole premiere happen
Again.
through the footage because I actually
right.
didn't even know who showed up because I don't think I spoke to even like a quarter of the people there. And I was like, oh my God, that person was there. Oh, no way. These two are interacting. That's so interesting. I had no
Right.
idea some of those people had come to I watched the video footage. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
That's crazy.
yeah, it was such a wig out.
Fuck.
So
That's got to be a
weird.
good feeling though, eh?
Yeah, you know, it's really cute. Like my neighbor actually, she like, we're not like that close to our neighbors, but we like know them.
Yeah.
And they pulled their car up, like, and we just never speak. Like they go to their car, I go to my car, and we just do it like a wave, like we
Yeah.
knew each other from school. And she pulled her car up, like when I was getting out, and I was like, oh no, like why would she pull her car up? And she rolls down the window and she goes, I just want to let you know I went to the premiere last night. Like congratulations. I was like,
That's
oh,
crazy.
that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you never saw who bought the tickets.
No,
Whereas I
I-
see every person
Yeah,
that buys.
I kind of wanted to, but I'm
tickets,
kind of
yeah.
glad I didn't.
Yeah, no, awesome.
Sometimes like you just don't want to know.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah.
If you see them, you see them. But no, it's
Yeah.
actually
No, I getcha.
No, it was a good night.
And reflecting back on it, give us your reflection. How did it reach expectations?
I
Like-
honestly think my expectations were on the floor. Like
Yeah.
as in like I have high standards, but my expectations were low, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So like I wanted to like my thing is if you do it hard. Like
Yeah.
I don't like half-assing it. I'd rather just not do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, well, it became expensive because you gotta like the cellist
access.
and then the media wall and the photographer and it just adds up.
Yeah.
But even the host like costed, like everything costs.
Mm.
But yeah, it was like I think I was really nervous about the speech. Like unlike
I remember you.
because you're good at public speaking and you
Yeah.
enjoy it. I haven't seen you public speak, but I imagine you were
alright.
fine.
I get a bit nervous, but
Oh,
can do
that
it.
sounds fine. If you like I get a
Yeah.
bit nervous, you're probably fine. I was shitting myself.
I
you
heard,
were great. What
You
are
know what?
talking about?
I
That
heard
was
that.
so good.
I heard that speech because you did it to me at when we were.
I wrote
getting
it
a
4
drink.
months ago.
Yeah.
That's how fucking nervous
And
I was.
like, when you were saying it, I was like mouthing the words from what I remember that you said. And I went to Ryan, I was like, I've heard this before.
yeah, I know. It's cute. Well, it was actually quite funny because I was like, I learnt it like 4 months before because
Yeah.
I was so nervous. Then my life got chaotic. Didn't think about it for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks before the premiere, I'm like, oh shit, because then they dropped a bomb that I had to also like do a speech for the Melbourne one. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna improvise that one. Like
Yeah.
I don't have the mental capacity to do 2 different speeches.
Yep.
And you can't thank crew and cast when they're not in Melbourne.
Yep.
And you can't welcome the Seltzers to Melbourne when they live in Melbourne.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just
just
gonna
change it
wing
up.
it. So I like totally winged that one. Thank God Melbourne was first as well. Like that was like a
Yeah.
practice run. Thank God because it was
Right.
just
Because
like-
you had everybody that knew at the Sydney one.
yeah. And like Melbourne, like I knew a few faces and stuff, but like just even the formality was different. Like people came in like pants and a top and jeans and what like everyone in Sydney came pretty suited up.
Yeah.
So I was like, it just even just the scale,
Because
the
your
event type.
what was it called? The dress code was smart casual, but more smart than
Then
casual.
Yeah, because you can't say like, because if you say smart, then people start getting stressed and they come in a tux, and you're like, you don't have to come in a tux,
That's
but like
what I did.
you should come like in like a button up and suit pants or like nice chinos and
Yeah.
like I don't know.
Yeah.
Or you go casual with a blazer. So I'm like, oh.
I said snazzy. That was my word.
Yeah,
for
but
people's-
like I know what you mean when you say snazzy because
Yeah.
it'll be like last time.
Yeah,
But I feel
yeah,
like for
yeah.
other people that didn't know, I was like, oh.
Yeah, for sure.
It should
for
have been
sure,
on the
mate,
invite.
for
Like,
sure, for
but to be
sure.
fair, I didn't send
yeah,
out the invite either. It was
same.
the cinema, so
Yep.
I'm kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really nervous doing the speech. Like I was like super worried. But yeah,
it didn't come across that way.
well, the crowd was warm. Thank God.
You had one of my best responses that I've ever heard to a Q&A as well,
What
where
was
you
it?
quoted Matthew McConaughey.
I'll actually tell you, there's a good story behind this. Everything
Do
from
it.
here can make the cut. But yeah, so this is actually really funny. So in Melbourne for the Q&A, like mostly people I knew or knew of were
Hmm.
asking questions because like, look, the crowd was a bit older. The crowd was mostly investors and like wealthy people. And
In Melbourne.
yeah, it was a much older demographic.
That's awesome. How did you get investors to come?
It's just people that like have the change and
Sure.
usually or philanthropists and stuff. So it's kind of like there was a much older audience. So it wasn't nearly as warm. It wasn't nearly as clappy. It was like they were just like very formal and it was
Yeah.
very relaxed and you know it was a totally different vibe and a lovely vibe, just completely different
Sure.
events. But like my brother's best friend is very sweet. He drove up from Sydney to Melbourne, especially to come to the Melbourne one as well, which is so nice because he came to the Sydney one, which is so lovely.
Insane.
But yeah, it was really cool. But he might know him. He went to AFTT, Ash Mayer.
No.
He would have been a few tiers below. Anyway, very cool guy. But he came up and the questions were going around, and then they cut all the questions just before it got to him. And I was like, oh no, what was Ash going to ask? And Jaden goes, oh, who influenced your directing? And I was like, oh, thank God he didn't ask that. Like, I don't know. And
Didn't you get that asked?
So then in Sydney, someone else happened to ask that. And because I'd already received that question that never got asked, I kind of knew that I was going to, because I said as a joke to Jaden, like immediately when he said that, I was like, oh, I would have made like a joke like me in 10 years. Yeah. And then I was like, no, I wouldn't have said that. That wouldn't have landed. And then when it happened in Sydney, I was like, and I was like, I'm just going to go in and shoot and see if it lands. It landed. And thank God that I had the prepared. Yeah. Which was good. But yeah, it was the actual like, it was funny because for the speech, like I just assume everyone doesn't speak or clap during speeches. So the whole time I had like, thank you, we acknowledge, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then can we all please give a round of applause? But because everyone kept clapping after every single sentence, I skipped over that one and instead was like, and then said, are we just going to clap after everything? And then everyone clapped again. I was like, this is a great audience. I'm like, everything's going to land. Yeah. Which was really lucky.
You read the room.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I can't say quickly, please give a round of applause. Like, they've just been clapping the whole time. They were really not. Again. No, it was really cute. It was cute. So that was the hardest part for me was the public speaking. But Q&As are fine. Like, I'm good on a whim. It's the preparation that's hard. But you can't not prepare when there's specific things you have to mention and people you have to thank.
Yeah.
Like, and things you've got to acknowledge. You can't wing it.
I'm winging it.
Really? You're not preparing anything?
No.
Why?
You prepared something last time.
I did, but I don't know. I think I know what I want to say.
Yeah.
And like I already know. So he goes. Actually, I'm not going to take away from your second, but I know what I'm going to do. It's like we start off. Oh, by the way, are you okay to say a couple words at the start, like you did for Tuesday lesson?
Just like
should introducing the night.
Guys, I'm a professional public speaker
now.
I've got all the experience. Yeah.
We'll go you, and then I'll do my thank yous, kind of like what you did. And then from that thank yous, segue into like thank you to the cast and thank you to the crew. Talk about the crew a little bit, and then go, we actually have a video message from a crew member that couldn't make it. Federico. Come back, then I talk about the concept of the film and like where it came from and whatnot, and how we had the magnificent like cast that portrayed the characters that I created. Then like there's a cast member that couldn't be here tonight that's going to introduce the rest of the cast. And we got a message from Luke over in the UK introducing the cast. Then he will introduce the cast. Then basically once the cast say a couple words, like 15 seconds each, come back to me, and then I'll go, here's the film. The film plays out. Whatever happens, and then I get back on the mic and I'm like, we have a couple more surprises for the night. I'm not going to drag everybody out just for a 20-minute film or whatnot. So what I'm going to do is then bring Taha up on stage. Then I'm going to go, they've always said to me in film school and everything I've learnt, always have a next move. So then announce that me and Taha have been working on fuck, have I said that yet?
I think you have, but
I feel like you did last time.
Okay, yeah. Well, I have been working on
listening these.
Yeah, you are. I love it.
I actually listened.
Did you like last week's with Anya?
Yeah, with Anya.
Did you listen to it?
Yeah, it was good. No, I actually listened to half. I was listening to it 2 set, but the drive wasn't long enough to finish it.
That was one of my favorite pods, definitely.
Yeah, me too. She's great.
She's fantastic. But yeah, then I got an animation made up for the title reveal. And then me and Taha will say a couple words. Then Taha will go off, and then I go, okay, we're going to finish this off with a bang, and then we'll get Jay up here. Jay will say a couple words. We'll play the Docco end of the night.
Love, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just going to wing it. Like, it's just thank yous first, concept of the film second. That's all I got to really do.
I think what's good about you guys both making long films is that you can have like a nice premiere night for it. Like it makes me want to do it. But my film is 7 minutes, so I can't do it.
But then what you could do is then you could pair up with someone else with a short film and then go back to back and split the costs of putting on the event.
See, we are, I take back what I said. We can drag people out for a 20 plus. I think 20 plus minute films you are able to. With 7, you may find it hard.
Yeah, but as Lex said, I could just combine.
You just make a night out of it.
To back,
maybe even 3 films.
And the people coming out are coming to support you. They're going to support you regardless of how long it is, but they want the night not to just be get there, go home. They're going to want photos, drinks, go out, like make a night of it. Like surely.
Yeah. That's 100%. You know, Lockie gave me a good idea. He's like, for next premiere, he's like, why don't you get everybody's trailers and play them at the start like an actual thing?
That's cool.
I'm like, yeah, but who's making stuff? And then I'm like, other than like our little like group.
Yeah.
But then again, Lockie's like, you could have done a teaser for Austin for like Baron. You could have played something from Sashas' game. And I'm like, yeah, look, maybe next time. And now,
but if you're like, you're already doing heaps though, because you've already got quite a long speech. Correct. A lot of people introducing it.
But like maybe that's an idea for you if you want to play like people's trailers and whatnot. But yeah, that's the night. That's very exciting. But how's the reception been after the fact about the film overall?
Yeah, good. Like definitely relieved. Like there's always like a bit of like stress, how people are going to perceive it. And by the time it's shown, it's already aged. Like your style's already progressed. And then obviously you're like, I wish I could do things differently. So yeah, there's definitely tension around that. But I mean, they don't know that, so it doesn't matter, right?
Exactly,
like, they don't know like where you're at now. But yeah, no, like positive. Like I feel better that I did it because I was so like, I remember the day the tickets got released, I was like, oh, I'm definitely pulling out. I was like, there's you can't, right?
I called you.
Yeah, oh my God, thank God. Because they were meant to book us in Cinema 1, the big one at Ritz. That's what they'd promised us because they guaranteed we could sell 300. Like that was kind of my overselling.
Yeah.
And they chucked us in a cinema with 198 seats. And we pretty much sold it out within the day. And I was like, what the fuck? And that was without crew and cast reserved. And I was like, oh my God, that's like a problem because now crew and cast don't have a seat if we have to stick with that cinema.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of chaos later. They moved us back to Cinema 1, and then there's a whole thing with Melbourne as well where they also like they moved us into one cinema and then we sold it out and then they added another session. But the session they added was too big, so then they got a smaller cinema and then just tickets kept moving. Bit confusing. Not for me, for them, but still logistic nightmare.
I remember how, bro, just organising premieres is stressful.
God.
Fuck me. We'll get to that.
I just wanted to ask what your next steps are with the film from here.
Go into film festivals, hopefully get in. But look, honestly, it's a long film. Like I don't kind of expect it to get into some of them. Like it's 29 minutes. Like it's pretty much 30 and like it's like a foreign film made in Australia. So it's like how does it even categorize itself? Like it is extremely confusing. So I kind of get it. Like you're going to have the same issue.
Oh yeah, I know. That's what I was just about to say with the exact same, man.
Problem.
That's all right.
So yeah, I mean, I think for me, the idea was that's a proof of concept. It's to get financing. If it gets into festivals, that's great. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Literally.
But write the feature, which I'll get back into this week. I took a hiatus to focus on my life.
Nice.
Imagine that.
Wow, you taking a break?
Well, yeah, it wasn't really a break, but
you're back on fucking
I shifted my focus, but now I'm going back into writing it and then hopefully get investment or try suss it out.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, anyway, and then all that stuff sounds simple, but obviously we know it's not.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the process now, I guess.
It's interesting because I was thinking of like your films as these long, projects where it sort of shows like it's a proof of concept for a longer film, right? Like you build that world and you create a little story and then leave people wanting more. Whereas for me in my 7-minute film, it's more just like it's a what do you call it? Like something you can hand across to someone and be like, look, I can direct. It's a 7-minute film.
It's almost like a style, like, I don't know. It's kind of you like experimenting your style. Yeah. It's like it's a playground for you.
Yeah. Even though there is like a contained story within it.
Of course.
It's sort of, I feel like it almost serves a different purpose to the films 100%. That you guys are creating.
And they're more practical for festivals, like way
more
practical.
And that was sort of my intention with it.
100%.
I agree with you, but I also don't agree with you. I feel like with Ozmar as well, I feel like it was a playground as well for me. It was only my second film made. I feel like, I don't know if you've gone through
this.
It's
a playground, but it's also not because when you're doing a film that long, it's a much bigger commitment.
Okay,
whereas if you're doing short 7-minute ones, it's like a quick experiment.
But I also see it as an opportunity to show people how like big of a step in quality and how much I've improved as a filmmaker as well. This was what I was going to ask you as well, is like, after Sashas' game, like, was there a point where you're like, don't really want to make the feature for it?
There was definitely a short moment.
Yeah, but just like a passing thought.
Because you get fatigued of like the story and you already
know that's what I'm in.
Yeah.
That exact thing. It's like, I don't, like, I don't feel like I'm ready.
Well, you go, I've already made it, and you go, why am I making it again? And you're like, to get more eyes with a big budget. But then you go, but I already know the story.
You know
I've done
me
the
exactly.
story.
That's exactly.
But it's not. There's always so much more to explore. Sorry.
Of course.
I was just gonna say, I think this is why you have to choose your projects carefully because you're gonna be that's gonna be your life for the next couple of years.
100%.
If it's a feature.
I also
exactly.
I also feel like I will get to it. I feel like I want to do something else before I do that.
We also fatigue. Like you've literally just had your head in the story the whole time.
And I've seen it a gazillion fucking times.
I think just remind yourself of what drew you to it in the first place.
Yes, 100%, because the bigger story is fucking amazing. Like I could
exactly, bro.
20-minute film, bro.
Even like you pitching it to me, I was like, that's insane. I'd love to see that.
Mate, the overall story is fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, was there anything else you wanted to add on the night? Anything that surprised you?
Honestly, I didn't expect that many people to have questions. I don't know why. Like, it's just like, okay, this is controversial.
Just do it.
But whenever like people go, oh, and then we're doing a Q&A, I'm like, why? It's a short. Like, I know it's horrible, but the condition of me having to do it was that I had to do a Q&A. That was a part of the festivals.
Okay.
Like, and I was like,
Every film had a Q&A.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I really don't want to do a Q&A. Like it's just like what questions like. And then I was like, okay, if I get a good host, then it can be worthwhile. Because I've seen other people do it. You send a text through or like no questions come and then it's dead silent. So I was like, from Melbourne, like the way I decided to do it in Melbourne, I just replicated in Sydney. Yeah. Where it starts in a conversation.
Same host?
Different host.
Okay.
Where it starts with a conversation and it's like a discussion and then hopefully questions roll off by that and then the host will read the room and if there's questions, if not, they'll continue so that it doesn't go silent and there's not this awkward tapping noise.
It's a good way to do it.
So I mean, if you guys do it, I recommend doing it that way. Like it's so much less awkward.
It also takes a lot of confidence because if you've made like a shit short film and now you're just like, guys, we're going to talk about it. Yeah. Like you have to have enough confidence in yourself to know that you've made something good to then do a Q&A about it, you know?
Who wants to talk about my shit short
right?
for another 30 minutes?
Anybody's
like, why did you make this?
Yeah. It's like, why?
I don't have a question, I have a comment.
Why? Literally.
What were your intentions? Because they did not come through.
I actually don't know what the story is.
How would you make it good? Like, fuck.
Are you planning on having a backup career?
What did you want to be before you wanted to be a filmmaker? Oh, fuck.
God.
Was there, before we move on to you, Dan, was there anything that you would do different this time? Either about the film or about the premiere
I mean, the
night?
film always, right? Like, there's so much I would have done different.
Give us an example.
Like, look, you don't know until you do it. Like, you see it on the page, it makes sense on the page, then you execute and you go, oh, or like little things like you try to like kind of pre-visualize what the sound will be like so that you can have them react without any sound being there. But like maybe have gone harder into that. Like we definitely had moments of it. And like Gordy was definitely helping to like, cause he was going to be on post. So he was like, we should probably have them shouting here. And I was like, okay, that's like really good to know. Yeah. But yeah, next time definitely kind of going in prepared for that and like including that a lot more so the world feels a lot more weaved in.
Yeah.
So probably that. Also, I would have liked another shoot day. Like we crunched in so much in such little time.
Man, yeah.
Like it was just kind of ridiculous. And then also maybe going through the script because we lined up culling 2 scenes. So I'm like, we could have had more time to shoot the existing ones.
Gonna make a director's cut? Oh no, you can't be bothered.
What's the point? We're doing a feature. I can't. Like, how many times can I do this story? But who wants a documentary? So, no, I've already got them. I've already got one. Yeah, everyone's fatigued. Let's keep talking about it. No. But and like even the speech, like my dad suggested going to Toastmasters, which you guys don't need because you like public speaking. But it's like
what's Toastmasters?
Yeah, it's actually pretty random. It's these like pop up almost groups. I believe you pay like $10 a week or something. It's like not that expensive. And you show up and it's supposed to help with your public speaking. Oh. And it's a bunch of people that want to improve it and they give you a topic to speak on. And someone counts your someone counts your likes, someone counts your pauses.
That's great.
And they give you feedback at the end.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's like most people in business that are trying to get better at selling and pitching. And he suggested I go to it and I didn't. But what I did do, because I was like, I don't want to spend the money. I'm like, rather, get food. But horrible attitude.
Or put it into the premiere.
I'd rather just practice it in my car for 4 months.
Yeah, right.
No, but what I did instead was like when I was at trivia, like there was one time that the host pulled out.
Yeah.
And the host like just didn't show up. And like the entire pub was like, what the fuck are we going to do? Yeah. And so I was like, I'll host. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I hate public speaking.
Yeah.
And I was just like putting myself like
practice.
constantly in really uncomfortable positions with strangers to public speak and just volunteer myself so that I was better. I don't know if it helped. I don't think it actually helps you public speak. I think it helps with controlling the adrenaline.
Yeah, okay.
But still, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
fair enough.
Maybe
And
go to
you said
Toastmasters.
It turned out fine.
I'm
though.
still shocked, that you think you're not good at public
Oh,
speaking.
thanks.
Yeah,
No,
bro.
genuinely, well, you're very articulate.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't detect any nervousness or anything like that on the premiere.
strategic though, right? Because no, guys, because I'm kind of like, you can only control what you can control. If you're if you're gonna freak out and you're gonna shake, you're gonna shake.
Yeah.
So I was like, how can I control the environment as much as possible? So obviously writing it 4 months in advance, practicing it all the time, trying to put myself in uncomfortable positions. And then I was like, if there's a lectern, then I can stand behind it. Then my body's covered. Because that wasn't meant to be the case.
Were you reading anything?
Well, I had the script already up there in case so
I
that no one
knew-
could see me carrying
yeah,
it.
cool.
And if I was holding it and I didn't have it, you'd see the shake, right?
Yeah.
So I was
You
like,
think
if
of
it's,
everything.
Yeah, so I was like, if it's already up there, people don't know it's there.
Yeah.
I actually know it off by heart, but it's
Yeah.
in case. The writing was
Amazing,
big. I'd like
yeah.
highlighted and coordinated it. And I was standing behind something.
Yeah, cool,
I was like,
cool,
and then I'm not
cool.
holding a mic. So I'm like, you control what you can
Yeah.
control to
That's
make it.
amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys like public speaking, so I don't even know why I'm telling you this. But
No,
that's
it's
super
for everyone out there
interesting.
that wants advice, control what you can control.
I think I see the problem solver in you.
Yeah,
Whenever you
I
have
love
an
problem
issue,
solving.
Yeah, you think of like the best way to go about
Yeah.
it. So, and which is obviously a great skill for a
Thank
filmmaker
you.
to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a bit. The only thing I'm scared about the speech is my tick has gotten really bad lately.
Oh,
Like
Which
the
one?
like the one where it goes.
I haven't noticed it.
You
Yeah.
keep doing this into the mic.
Yeah, well, that's one.
trying
Of
to
the-
get you to
it's
stop
that
doing it.
noise that I'm trying to do that,
Yeah.
that I'm doing, and that's gotten really bad lately. So I'm like, fuck, it's definitely gonna. It gets bad when I'm nervous as well.
Really?
So I'm like, and when people notice it, but we'll see how that
I've
goes.
never ever
I also
noticed
have
that.
I think a nervous tick where I like. It's pretty bad where I adjust my downstairs. I'm just like, and it looks like I'm just like going at it, but it's
Yeah.
like I don't even know I'm doing it half the time.
But I feel like it sounds awful. Boys can get away with that. Like I feel like a lot of
It's
guys
just a bit
do that.
disgusting when you're on stage in front of everybody. Yeah.
So then maybe wear an over. Oh, you've already got your suit.
Yeah.
I was gonna say just wear an oversized blazer or something, and you put your hand in your pocket, and then it kind of feels like you're doing it through the pocket.
Or I have one hand.
It's true. I mean,
That
you-
sentence out
I
of
have
context.
or I have one hand out of the blazer, and it looks like my arm's just dangling down, but it's actually down my pants.
and you got to do the buttons up.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
gosh.
I always give myself random ticks as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know when you just start doing something and then you can't stop and you just get that need to do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I used to have one where I would just close my eyes all the time.
Yeah.
I'd be walking
Really?
around and my eyes are closed.
yeah,
I still do it
Wow.
sometimes.
they're like in little intrusive actions.
And then I would have nightmares where I can't open my eyes.
Oh fuck, man!
Oh,
Like I'd be
whoa.
running from something, my eyes are stuck.
Holy
It's like sleep
shit!
paralysis.
Yeah.
You're just,
I have sleep
paralyzed by it.
paralysis.
Do you actually?
Yeah, I do. It's not the
That's
one.
scary.
It's not the one where people see demons, but
Okay,
I'm,
so I saw one.
Oh, you know what? I had one the
Yeah.
other week. I've only had it once where I've seen someone.
So the sleep paralysis was really random. Like I was like staying down in Bowral and like
Yeah.
I was in my bed and I never understood, like I know the brain's a powerful thing and I know that you can disassociate and you can convince yourself that you can't move and your brain triggers all movement. I get it, but I don't get it.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'm lying in bed and I already get paranoid. Like I have a weird thing about robbers and break-ins. I don't know why. Like if I hear a loud noise, I just assume it's a bomb or someone's
Sure.
broken in. Like really bad, like jump to conclusions.
Okay.
And I was like lying in bed and I was just like, I have a feeling the door's unlocked. And I just couldn't be bothered to get up to go check it.
Yeah.
And I stood there awake. And you know when it's dark enough that you can't see much, but light enough that you could see shadows?
Yeah.
It was like that where I saw my cousin's face
What?
and he walked in and he was holding a knife and he's such a nice
Holy
guy.
shit.
And he just sat down.
Why would he do that?
He sat, yeah. What the fuck? Oh, you were cool.
Oh.
No, and he sat on the like couch chair that was like right next to the bed, and he just was staring at me,
Oh my god.
and I was just couldn't sleep, and I
Yeah.
couldn't move, and I was just staring at him, and he was just staring at me, and I was like,
Yeah.
I was up for like 2 or 3 hours, and I just like couldn't move, and I was like, what the that like how's that for a fight or flight mode?
That's
like,
nuts.
fuck, I would be dead. I would be dead.
That's nuts.
True. What if it was actually?
Yeah, no, I'd be
real?
dead. Yeah, I just we'd have tea. We'd talk about it.
Mate. Yeah. My sleep paralysis is just I'm awake, but I'm not awake. Like I can't move, but
What
I
do you
can
mean?
see
like you're
everything
conscious.
around
Oh, your
me.
eyes are open.
Well, I don't know. I think so.
Whoa, that's weird.
Yeah, because I can see my whole room, and then like what I do to get out of it, I've come up with a technique, is I hyperventilate on purpose to increase the heart rate, and it always gets me out of it. If I breathe fast enough, then eventually I'll snap out of it, and then I'll see the room. I mean,
How
I'm
often does that happen?
Oh, it happens like regularly.
What, like once a month? More?
Oh, I would say once every couple of weeks.
You know,
I've kind of got
Have
used
you
to it.
never had that?
No, I have lucid
Wow.
dreams. I love those ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when you
that's
realize it's a dream,
fun.
but then you're still in it, and you're like,
Yeah.
You
Let me take control.
yeah.
You also have nightmares. Now, last time we were on the pod, you were having nightmares about your film. How was the progress this week, and
that's a
did it help the
different kind of
nightmares?
I wanted to say one more thing actually.
Yeah,
about the sleep
go for
paralysis
it.
thing.
Damn it. That was a really
Actually-
good segue.
It was, but I just want to say one.
Yeah, go.
Sorry, Josh. I was actually gonna make a doco on sleep paralysis back at JMC.
Ah.
Like, because we had to all pitch our ideas, and mine
Yeah, I
got
remember,
voted
yeah.
to be made.
So
It
did
was just a
mine.
throwaway idea. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
sleep paralysis, because I have a friend that has it, and he was gonna tell his story, and
Yeah.
then everyone voted. I was like, oh, okay.
And
Nice.
you
And
can do
then
it.
because of COVID, wait,
Oh,
I actually still filmed it. It was just an interview with him, but then like no one got to see it because COVID. which was
But you
annoying.
still made it, like it's done.
Yeah, it was just an interview with my mate. Like I didn't.
You didn't
too
do
much.
any.
I was going to
B-roll
go
or
more
anything,
all out
yeah.
with it, but then I had to scale it down. 'cause
Like,
of
here what you
COVID.
could do, F it, now that you've realized with Austin and stuff, but like you could get an animator and they could like
I did want to
illustrate
have
over it
like
and that would be
some-
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Animator.
Me and my
Did it so long
teacups.
ago.
Have you seen like
Teacups.
so
the animation.
sick, yeah.
We
I
saw
watched
it
that
together,
yesterday. I sent it to
Yeah,
the group
they
chat.
they're shortlisted for an Oscar.
Did you see
Yeah.
Mud Crabs got nominated for an actor?
Yeah, but unsurprising.
Yeah.
But like Teacups shortlisted for an
Beautiful.
Oscar for best animation
Really?
short.
It was beautiful.
It's an
man.
unbelievable short.
That's insane.
Crazy, yeah. It's like go them, like take the industry there. That's sick.
Yeah.
We saw that Flickerfest, right?
Flickerfest, yeah.
Nice. Did you go to Flickerfest?
No. Was
No,
it
you
good?
didn't?
Was it worth going?
Yeah,
it was really
actually.
good this year, yeah.
I'll tell you what was
We went to
great.
closing night.
The Porto afterwards.
Yeah, I
I was
don't-
really
'cause they
hungry
just
because
had
we
good
remember
food
we
there.
thought they were going to have food, but
oh,
they
didn't.
They
They normally
didn't.
do.
Yeah.
I think.
That's all right.
We didn't stay for the after party. We were tired.
we didn't.
I think
Yeah,
I
we
just got
were.
back from the US as well,
You
and you
did.
just finished work.
Yeah.
I
and
think
we're
I got back
fuck
like
it.
the day before,
Yeah.
and I was like straight.
It was
like,
still
we're
a good
going
night
to
seeing
Flickfest.
like everybody there and all the films because I'd never been to anything like that before. But
Yeah, it's really fun.
Dan, your film. Tell
Progress.
us. Yeah,
Yes.
go for it, mate.
Cool. So I had a meeting with Jack and John Luca, my two producers.
So he's
I
producer
think it
John
was on
Luca.
Monday. Yeah, he is now.
Nice.
So we just had a video call to properly like officially decide what everyone was doing.
Nice.
And I sort of decided to designate Jack as like the because he's been the producer from the start
Yeah.
to oversee the project. Like he set all the deadlines, all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
then John Luca was going to help me with certain tasks that I would designate to him.
Yeah.
Like I was going to get him to help me put together like a casting call thing just to
Oh,
send
that's
that out to
great.
people.
Yeah.
Like I would write
So
out all the
helpful.
information and he would just help me like design
Publish
it.
it. Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
But then today I had a change of heart and I was like, you know what? Like my two priorities right now are casting and locations.
Yep.
So I messaged a group chat and I was like, all right, Jack, you look at locations. He's already sent me a few, but I was like, an idea Jack came up with that was really good is we're trying to look for something that's very grungy and like run down and stuff. But we're
Yeah.
looking at Airbnbs and a lot of them look really nice, which you can make it look worse with PD and stuff, but it's a whole...
Wait, what's the story? Like what kind of location are you looking for? Like, is it like a rusty attic? Like, is it
No,
like a
no,
farm?
it's just like a place where two ordinary people live, but like their socioeconomic status in my mind is low. But it's not specific, right? And
Right.
the idea that Jack came up with is if we can't find a grungy place, maybe you know some.
That's what I was
location.
trying to
Lexi's the
think, yeah.
location queen,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah, I love
But he said
locations.
if we can't find like a grungy place, we could just change the story because it's not specific. He's like, we could make it about two people who are living wealthily, but the whole conflict is that they have everything financially, but she still can't get pregnant. And that adds a different layer. I was like,
right,
that's
yeah.
cool, but I also, I don't know, in my
I like
mind.
the grunginess.
Yeah, me too.
Well, you can also just chuck like get a mattress like, off marketplace that's already stained and disgusting, and throw
Yeah.
some more tea on it, and you
Yeah.
put it on the ground, and you chuck some broken wooden like bed frames
Yeah.
around. I'm like, you could make a nice place look grungy. You just need a removalist, and it would be a bit of a pain.
Yeah,
True,
especially if
yeah.
it's an Airbnb.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like if it's an Airbnb and
And the
someone
s-
else's house, how much can I customize?
The struggles of an Airbnb. Hey, Lexi.
Do you have any other ideas?
Ripper Ride's quite good. Is it called Ripper Ride? Ripper Ride. I feel like that's right. Ripper Ride. It's like a different Airbnb thing, but more lodgy. So like the places look a little bit more wooden, dingy.
Okay.
We
but
looked
it's
at a
kind of
lot
more
of
rural.
we looked at a lot of sites when we were scouting.
Yeah, they're more expensive though. You could like
Scoutly. Have you heard of Scoutly?
Yeah, Scoutly's like different parts of the houses that are specific. Because the issue with Airbnbs, right, is what I faced on this job I was just PM on. I got us 2 different Airbnbs. I did on 2 different ones of my accounts. The crew trashed both of them, and now both of my accounts have the worst reviews you've ever read.
Oh, so they did leave a review.
Yeah. They left
you said
a review.
You weren't sure whether or not they were going to.
Well, because I kind of thought we'd already kind of paid externally. We'd already done the contracts externally.
Yeah.
So I was like, surely they won't leave a review.
Yeah, they did.
Splashed. So I'm like, you're better off going to somewhere that has experience with crews that they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Or make an account specifically for film. Because like I can't use those Airbnb accounts again. It's crazy.
So Josh, have you seen a location that looks like something that might fit my film?
No, I haven't personally
But
looked.
Scoutly would be your best bet in budget.
Scoutly.
I'll have a look.
Scoutly, it's people that put their houses up to be filmed in.
Oh, okay.
So
definitely look at that.
That's what other one? Tag venue? That's
Not
more
for houses. That's like venues.
That's more like
venues and cars.
yeah, and studios and
Yep.
stuff. Yeah. Scoutly is probably the one that
Yeah, because Pure Locations is too expensive.
pure
like the budget's
fucking hell.
steep.
Remember the shit that they were quoting us?
Yeah, well, Pure's always, and Limitless is also quite expensive, but
Yeah.
Karen's great to deal with.
Karen Diner.
Ironic, actually.
Yeah.
No,
'Cause
Karen's the manager at Limitless, but it's
Oh,
ironic
right,
that
sorry.
a person named Karen is actually a pleasure to deal with. But yeah,
My lord.
she's a good one.
Like, what are the good ones?
Yeah, one of the good ones.
We'll definitely try out Scoutly.
Cool.
What else have
I'll
you been
think
doing?
so, yeah.
And then just to finish off that, I also said to John Looker, help me look for actors.
Nice.
So
Nice.
one of the strats I was sort of thinking is like, I went on Short of the Week and I was just looking at some of the best Aussie films. And I was just looking at,
Good short of the week.
it's like a website where they just put like the best short films from around the world.
Okay.
And like I went to, because you can look at different countries. So I looked at Australia and just watched some of their films. I'm like, oh, that person looks like a good performer. That
Yeah,
might
right.
be right for the role. Maybe I can see if there's a way to reach out to them
Nice.
or whatever. And
That's a
then,
good idea.
just like looking at all my different options for casting. I mean,
Yep.
if you guys know anyone that might be good. I mean, you haven't.
You
don't
have
know
to send me the script, yeah.
but, yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
Good
just,
stuff.
Just looking at my
Cast,
options.
enjoy the casting process, bro. It's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah,
of
no,
it all.
for sure. I definitely will. And it's like, I love that feeling when you just find the right person. And I like to keep my mind open with casting as well. Like, because often it's the person that might not look exactly the way you look, but they just bring a magic to it and you want to almost shape the script around
How many
them.
characters is this?
2.
2. Oh, easy.
Yeah.
The whole thing's 2 characters.
Yeah, a guy and a girl.
Oh my God, ideal. And they're both in their 30s.
Yep.
So easy.
Yeah.
Do you care about ethnicity, background, anything?
Not particularly.
So it's completely open. It's just 30s.
Yeah.
Man, girl. Oh, easy. The
But
world's
like-
your oyster.
Like, obviously-
Lexi, you need a break from
No, I
things,
know,
remember?
I do. I was like, it's so easy. I know. I was like, I'm not taking on anything else.
I think the most important thing is that they fit the genre, right?
Yeah.
So it's very like
Drama?
in my mind, like, well, it's like psychological thriller. So in my mind, it's sort of like think The Shining, like Jack Nicholson and
Right.
Shelley Duvall, that kind of look.
You know what? You said an interesting thing about how things sometimes change with your casting. Like I wrote a certain role in Ozmar for a certain person, and it was for Sir Frederick Roy. I wrote it with him in mind, and I got him to audition, and Jared's on was just better.
It happens.
It
yeah.
happens, man. It happens. But it's one of my favorite parts, so definitely
Yeah,
enjoy
it's
that.
fun. It's
Have you
fun.
got a short list of people or no?
I started writing that yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
Just a few people that I've heard about. Or might
Star
be
now?
good and what the people?
Are
the
you
list.
like?
I'm considering doing like an open call, but I don't know yet. I don't know.
Bruh, people
So-
shit on a Star now. I found.
I know, I
all
love
No,
it.
you just have to
fantastic
go
actors.
through.
Also, Sydney
Yeah.
Actors is great. You just publish it. You get some really good people
Oh,
from
yeah.
that Facebook
Yeah.
group.
Yeah, okay.
Showcast is good, but you need to get a subscription.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck-
I use that at AFT.
If you're already
pretty
paying-
expensive,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. What else, Dan?
So that's that. What else
Nice.
happened? Oh yeah, I locked in a DP.
Oh,
What?
yay.
Yeah, so that's like the big thing that's happened.
Really?
So,
Who?
Yeah. So David Longdon, who he's French, he was my first choice.
Cool. I don't know the name.
You don't know? Wow, that's
I know
crazy
that.
for you not to know.
No, he's great. He's shot like a couple features in France and stuff like that. So
How
And
did you
then is
find
he
him?
visiting? What's he
I've worked
doing?
with him before.
On?
You know, I've told you about Ed, right? My
Yeah.
producer.
Yep.
I actually got in touch with him again as well. Just checked in with
Oh, you
him.
finally, yeah, okay,
He's I think he's busy with other stuff, but he's gonna like send me some producing templates and
Cool.
and
Nice,
stuff like
nice,
that, and
nice,
maybe
nice.
send through some suggestions for casting as well.
cool. Yeah, sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, David's shot a couple features before, and he
Nice.
does like music videos and things like that. He's the one that
Find
did
him.
the film where I AD'd, where we did like 20 minutes in 2 days.
Oh, the Birdman kind of one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Whoa.
He's cool.
Yeah,
I remember you
no.
talking about him.
Yeah,
That's
he's
awesome.
great. He's awesome.
Did you sort of price?
Not yet. We haven't talked about that yet.
But he's on.
I just got an expression of interest.
Okay,
Nice.
cool.
And he
That's
was
pretty
like-
good.
he's
Yeah.
like,
Dude,
yeah,
that's
count me in,
awesome.
so-
And you know what? It's good that like it's not someone that everybody knows as well.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, I think it's really good that as filmmakers, I mean, we're all directors, that we have our people that we'll always
Yep.
work with. I mean,
Yeah.
you got many. You got Chris, Tessa, whatnot. And now possibly the start of something new.
I'm starting to wonder now, like, should I try and find my reliable team of people that I just work with on every project? Because that would be ideal.
that
But
comes
at
natural,
the same
bro.
time, I think, especially when it comes to DOPs, I like to work with someone different every time. Because
Okay,
they always
well.
have different styles, but that I
Yeah.
like. It's hard, isn't it?
Has Chris matched whatever vision that you have done every single time?
But that's the thing is like, right, because I think a lot of the time, this is where it becomes quite strange, right? Because I think Wes Anderson's style is Wes Anderson's style, but how much
Yeah.
of that is actually the DOP style and it's just been attributed to Wes,
point.
right? Because your style as a director is reflected straight through the camera and frame of the DOP. So you both need to be aligned and
Yep.
you don't
Yeah.
have a style until you've got a DOP that is consistently attached with your style, or you are so hard in your style that the DOPs always have to shift to what you want.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind
So
of
it
a
works
part
both
of the
ways,
game.
right?
Well, I mean, you either have to know exactly what you want, and every DOP that you work with has to produce a similar style so that it's consistent and in line with what you want, which means they're compromising their work because it's not what they would have wanted to do. Or you find someone that's naturally aligned, and that becomes a style that you've developed together.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the other thing is that, like, with cinematography, I feel like it's almost something that your cinematographer has to be, if you want it to be like at a professional level, they need to be someone who's pretty technically advanced. Like,
Yeah.
ideally someone who's older, and like people I know in the industry, most of them are our age because we've, you know, gone to film school together and built relationships that
Sure.
way. But it's like, if you want to meet that DOP that you work with, often they're going to be older. Because I
Yeah.
feel like as a
Yeah, of
director, you
course.
can get it. It's your own project.
I
you
mean,
can get
all
away
our
with being
DOPs are
younger.
older, right? Chris is older. How old is
Connor's
Ozmar?
young.
No,
Dave.
Connor's older.
He's like 26, 27.
Yeah, well, that's still
He's not older,
well,
he's
that's
like in
still
his
older than
20s.
me, Yeah.
I think Dave's about that age too.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Oh, that's
There you
young.
go.
Yeah.
How old
That's
is Chris?
Like 40s.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
nice.
Okay.
Chris is very.
Is he your
very
guy
good.
now?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
I like every time I say to Chris, I'm like, I just couldn't like, and like, don't get me wrong, I love other DOPs. I've worked with other DOPs, but like, even
For
like
your
on this
stuff.
set, like just no one's as fast and as efficient and gets
Yeah.
it as much as he
Yeah.
does, and he does it with a smile,
That's
not
what
an
it is,
ounce of
man.
Yeah,
complaint,
sick.
not a peep. And he's
so
Afrikaans,
nice.
like
Yeah.
my family's from South Africa. There's already common ground and
Mm.
mutual understanding, and his accent's quite heavy, so some people don't know what he's saying, and like I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like this really natural relationship.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I
See-
just like trust him.
For me, it's like, because there's so many other DOPs that I really want to work with and I love.
We'll
but
keep
it's like,
experimenting
yeah,
until
I'm
you
like,
land on one you really want to
it's
stay
so hard,
with.
isn't it?
Would you?
There's no rush.
Here's a question for you. Would you ever drop Chris if you had an opportunity to work with, like, I don't know, a Greg Fraser or like one of the big Linus, like who did La
Look,
La
it's a weird
Land?
loyalty thing, right? Like I
Yeah.
feel like I would always take my team on in some capacity.
So would I, yeah.
So I'm kind of like, if like I ideally wouldn't, but the idea is right. An investor's coming on because they want some reassurance. So if
Yeah.
they want someone like a Greg Fraser because he's done bigger work and they only trust him and they'll only put money forward if it's
Yeah,
him,
yeah, yeah.
I'd have Chris on the camera team. That would be my non-negotiable
Okay,
to have
fair.
him.
I guess it's the
Totally.
same as like having
Like Chris
a big
would have to
star on
operate or something.
You know?
Yeah.
Mm.
Where
Yeah.
where like for our shorts, right? Like the reality is investors aren't going to put forward money on no names,
Yeah.
and because we're no names right now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, for them to put on a no name director and no name actors and no name, like why? Well, why take that risk? So
Yeah.
the reality is our cast will probably come on in another capacity, but they won't
Yeah.
be on in the same roles they were in. It's just it's the shit thing of the game, unfortunately.
That's like Federico for me. I don't think I would go, but then again, where does Federico slot in? There's no music department. Like,
no, there's quite like he wouldn't be composer, but he could be like
pianist or something.
Yeah, assisting, or he could be coordinating or mixing. There's so many elements to all these departments.
100%.
Like I think if it was a non-negotiable that I wouldn't get the financing, my non-negotiable counter offer would be that they still have to come on board in some capacity.
Yep, I agree.
I think there's only one person I have right now where I would take them on every single project. I think that's Anya.
Yeah.
She'd always be my script supervisor.
Yeah, very good.
I'd work with her as a writer as well, obviously.
Well, I think I've definitely built my team. I mean, Lexee, you're definitely one of them. In one way or another, Federico, the composer, 100%.
Oh, and sorry, like obviously I'd always get you on every project, but it's like the roles.
Yeah.
The heads.
But sometimes it's hard.
Yeah, it's like you got to make it work.
Like for example,
like I want to get you on, but to be honest, I don't know if I can get all the boys on.
No, and that's the thing. That's why it's so important to have those specialized secondary. Like for example, I love Jay, but like, did he specialize in anything when we were like, did he have a go at AD? Did he have or whatever? But even when you get into the big leagues, you can't make a case for them if they haven't done anything.
Of course.
And you want to bring those people that you've worked with along for the ride.
Yeah.
But what were you going to say?
Oh, the other big thing that happened.
Oh, yeah?
Spoke to Austin. He wants to do like a whole BTS video, like from start to end.
Yeah.
A doco of my film.
Oh, so what Jay did?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
and he said he's getting a new Sony camera, so he'll make it look nice. Do you know Danny Jervitz on YouTube?
No.
Oh, he makes like, he just made a feature recently, but he makes these beautiful short films and stuff. He used to be a DOP and now he's a director.
Nice.
Cool.
But he made like a really beautiful start to finish of his feature film. It was like in 4 parts.
Nice.
It's like 2 hours in total.
And Osto wants to.
Yeah, me and
get into
Osto
stuff
both
like
love
that.
his stuff, and Osto wants to make something similar.
Yeah,
for me,
nice.
And I was like, yeah, 100%.
Well, if Austin doesn't get a Sony, you can always take Jay's mum's camera.
It's a retro film.
Yeah, and you can edit it on his.
I wonder if he got home, eh?
Oh, I hope so.
I haven't heard from him.
I know, I'm sure he's fine. Jay's always fine.
He always makes
He's
it
always
out.
fine, yeah.
He always pulls through.
Anything else for you this week, Dan, the man, the director, the technician?
I have to check in again with my makeup artist.
Yeah.
She said she was going to send me a voicemail on her thoughts, but hasn't got back to me. So I'm just going to give her a call and just be like, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's like there's a lot of like prosthetics and that kind of stuff, so I want to get on the same page as that.
Oh, is it Kim? Are you using Kim?
No.
Who are you using?
Do you know Brianna Garber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she do prosthetics as well?
Apparently.
Because I know a few people as well. Otherwise, I mean, if you
Okay.
need a big
Of course
team,
you do.
Okay, I'll
that, like
definitely-
into prosthetics, yeah.
You're
Okay,
the best, Lex. You know everyone.
I'll definitely keep it in mind. I'll let you know if she needs
Like if
help.
if she needs help or if she pulls out or
But
whatever.
actually, she's another person that I'd love to always work with because she's just like
Rihanna,
the
she's
nicest
lovely.
person
Yeah.
ever. Yeah.
Was there anything else, Dan?
No, I think that's it. For
That's
now.
it?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, my last couple of days and last couple of weeks have been fucking hectic. So, since last week when we were doing the progress with Anya, mate, so I hadn't finished the mix. I hadn't converted anything. And these last couple of days have been fucked. Like, so stressed. I was literally the whole day yesterday in a comatose of just stress. See, I don't know if that word made sense. Comatose. I don't fucking know. But like, I was in there just like stressed out. Sarah's literally, it's like, I was just like, bro, out of it completely. Just so much going on. Like, so first of all, was getting the mix done was a problem within itself because I don't know, just like, I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, our mixer, it was good and he's done it well. It's just, I don't know, certain things just went out of whack. Like, so many things were out of sync. So many little things were left in there. Like, stupid little things, which I have no idea how it happened.
Sometimes that can just happen with export. Like,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
files can be quite finicky.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't translate over, and also if he's put an effect over and you don't have that effect downloaded, it
Yeah.
can just wipe it.
Right. And, like, we eventually got there in the end, but fuck, it took so long. And I eventually got there in the end and cut it off. I was like, cool, thank you, pay you, whatever. But then we found another problem, and at that point, I can't go back. I'm like, I've just told him to do like 4 revisions. I can't do anything. We had 2 problems. There was the gunshot was out of sync with the sound effect, and we had a rogue footstep, just like completely just not attached to anything. He stops walking, and there's one more footstep, and it's just so like just out there, and it was fucking annoying. we fixed both. This is how we fixed both.
You did yourself.
I redid the VFX and moved the muzzle flash a couple frames forward, and it sunk in with the sound effect. Then, my mate who used to edit this podcast when we first started, he's done a bunch of stuff with audio and like audio engineering.
I remember you saying that. That's why he was editing it.
Yeah, right. And he was doing the Channel 10 podcast for a bit. Anyways, he went into the mix and got rid of this footstep, which was fantastic.
Legend.
Which it was. He did it in Adobe Audition. He played with frequencies or some shit and got rid of it. Yeah, so thank fuck I got him. Then after that, it was just about making sure it's exported all fine. It doesn't get rid of anything Adrian's done. And we did that, listened through, perfect, whatever. Then we sunk it up. We finished the credits, and like the credits were also taking a while because, there was just things like me and Lockie were arguing how many seconds of black before the fucking title thing pops up, and it was like he's like 7, I'm like 6, and we're like 7.5, 6.5, and it just went 5. It was just like that or whatever. The credits are amazing, like the most beautiful credits I've ever seen because they're over art. So Lockie's created more concept art for the credits, and almost is inspired by. Do you remember the Avengers Endgame credits? How they had Robert Downey Jr. over some Robert. Yeah. So it's like that. And it's fantastic. And so we had to do that. He had to level out the credit audio because we also didn't give the credit music to Adrian because we hadn't finished the credits by that point. So we didn't know. So Lockie had to do it himself, and it sounds fine. Lockie also has a surround sound system because he mixed it in 5.1. So you couldn't hear it if you just listened to the file. You have to put on a 5.1 track in an editing software to listen to it. And even then you have to have a surround sound to fully hear everything.
Do you have to export 2 versions of the film? Like one
you've got to go one stereo.
Yes, so for film festivals. So we haven't done that yet. We're going to do that after the premiere once we've had a break. And
so do they play the 5.1 at the festivals or the other one?
It depends.
If they're showing it.
Like, because Myth, for example, like some of the stuff they put up is online or St Kilda Festival or whatever. So the online one would stereo. But then some that's not set up for it.
It's super easy to down. It's super easy to down mix. To up mix is completely fucking different. So we're going to do that afterwards. So that was that. And then after that, I had to chase the fucking Docco, which I gave him till a certain date. And I've been reminding him for months and weeks and whatnot. And he eventually...
works so well under pressure. Some people work well with stress.
Yeah. And I think some of his creativity weirdly comes out of stress. And it's so fucked, but you just have to put him under the pump at some of the best ideas. And
so did he not start editing until
Monday, technically?
No. He's been editing for a couple weeks now. I reckon he's done
just
this.
Not hard.
I think, just not hard. I think he's been overviewing everything and like coming up with his ideas because he's been messaging me for about 2 weeks now. I think it's taken him about 2 weeks to do it, which still is fucking short, considering. And it's dead set. I don't overplay this. It is fantastic. I showed you a little bit before. You hadn't even reached the good parts of it.
I really don't want to watch myself in it.
So you are. You're in one scene, I think.
Oh, is that it? Fair enough. I didn't do it.
It's amazing. And he's somehow created a story from hours and hours and hours of footage and managed to cut down.
There you go. He's still got that filmmaker.
And he does. Yeah. And hearing him inspired and like coming up with his ideas, fantastic. So I had to chase that. And then last night, this is what I've been happening the last couple of days. So I was at work on Tuesday night and I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to convert everything into DCP then. But at that point, I only had the animation intro, the cast intro, and Federico's message, all the things I kind of did myself, excluding Federico. So converted those to DCP that night. I was expecting the file for Ozmar, like the whole film that night. And then Lockie's like, no, that's not going to happen. Miscommunication between us. And it had to be exported and uploaded overnight. I wasn't at work the next day. So what I did, luckily, bro, people I work with are amazing. And they downloaded it for me when I wasn't there and converted it in DCP. So nice. I realized that so they were doing it through Media Encoder to start off with, and realized that it just wasn't working, crashed their systems and whatever. Realized all the exports I had done the night before had fucked up because Encoder just doesn't convert DCP properly. So they downloaded DCP-O-Matic, which is the free DCP software, which is what I use for Tuesday lesson. And they did everything for me yesterday.
That's so nice.
I then went there afterwards to get that file and put it on, then had to redo all the exports for my other clips. And I thought I was going to have the Docco at that point as well, but I didn't. So I gave Jay an extra night because he really wanted to.
So you're exporting the DCP now?
So then but last night I had all my clips plus the Ozmar film.
Yep.
All I was waiting on was this Docco. Jay wanted one extra night because his computer ran out of storage.
Right.
Whatever. And he was like, I'm working till 9:30. You'll have it by the time you wake up. So he spent all night fixing it and doing it and woke up and it was there. But then we're like, fuck, how are we going to get the file? And whatever. I was at Sarah's and he's like, can I drive to you? Whatever. Wake up at 6, drive home. Me and Jay watch the Docco at my house. Amazing, whatever. Drive all the way back to work.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
I drive all the way back to work. I convert the Docco. Takes a while. Put it on my hard drive. Go to the Chauvel. Give them the hard drive. Wasn't showing up. The hard drive wasn't formatted in the right file, and the files were not formatted correctly either. Go back to work. Call the guy that I've been dealing with, not the guy that I saw at the cinema, the guy that I've been dealing with for the last couple of weeks on email. God. He was amazing, helped me out. Then went back to work from the cinema. Lucky I had a backup hard drive, formatted that backup hard drive and into the right one. Then there were a couple of clips that weren't in the same frame rate, had to redo that in DaVinci, then redo it in DCP, put everything onto the hard drive, went back to the Chauvel.
This wasn't all today, was it?
Yes, it was. Went back to the Chauvel, and then thank fuck. This is what I was saying, bro. He was like, it's working. And I could have cried, and I think I did tear up a little bit. I'm like, oh my God, this is all done.
Done. So it's just everything dropped.
Well, now we wait for the technical rehearsal, which is When's next Monday.
And that gives you 1 week to rectify anything.
Correct. Okay. 1 week, which is fine.
That's okay.
The only thing I'm worried about is the conversion for DCP for the audio for the Ozmar thing, because it was mixed in 5.1. Yep. To be fair, luckily, all we do at work is deal with ingest and media formats and stuff. So they're all pros at it. So my boss did it for me, and she exported it into the highest bandwidth and into 5.1 export on DCP, which I would not have known what to legend, do. Yeah. So my work has been super. Not only are they getting me work days off for these films, and ever since I started have been super supportive of my career. Great. They have saved me and allowed me to convert everything, because I was planning to convert Jay's Docco DCP on my computer, but it said it was going to take 6 to 8 hours. So luckily I did go back into work and find all these problems. Everything just worked out. But now we're ready. We've sold 311 tickets. Technical rehearsal next Monday. I need to talk to you because they can't find a media wall, so I think I'm just going to cave in and get one.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The other options, it's not ideal though, and it's fucking enormous, the one we had, and it's annoying that the other side isn't black, but you could use the other side, which is white.
Of your one?
Yeah. But a white media wall is kind of crap. No, it's just white.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's why.
They make it in 24 hours, don't they?
What? No.
What site did you use?
The one that I sent you.
Easy Signs or whatever?
I think, yeah. But it's like they confirm it within 24 hours and they got to make it and ship it out. It took at least 2-ish weeks.
Oh, fuck me.
But maybe if you express it.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing for things lately, is just expressing. If not, then hopefully they find a media wall from one of their other sites around Sydney, because it's just a Palace Cinemas media wall that I need.
Yeah, I assumed they had it. Like every time I've been there for other people's premieres, they've got one.
But worst comes to worst, I printed out a massive poster, which I sent you. I don't know if I sent you.
The one that's in your room.
We can't take a photo in front of it.
Yeah, well, it's massive. So you can.
Is it the size of the TV? Bigger?
Oh my God, way bigger.
Is it the size of this?
It feels. I have a little easel that I bought as well. Spray painted that black, and we'll put it on.
Right.
It goes about because if you're going
to do it that way, then the only issue is the palace is much smaller. So my media wall would be too big.
No. I wanted a way smaller.
No. But my point is, if you do that, then at least they're on a white wall with the poster in front, so it's a clean shot.
That's true. That's actually true. Okay. Well, worst comes to worst. Yeah. But do you have your black carpet, or did you hire?
I do. No, you can borrow. Yeah. It's really short though. Anyway, so that's a whole shit show.
Yeah. yeah, look, maybe I will take you up on that
Yeah,
carpet
just
offer.
let me know.
I'll let you know. But yeah, so it's just been stress having to chase and make sure from the mix all the way to the, and because bro, like later on, like in life, the director ain't doing this.
Yeah, no, literally.
But I know me and you do the fucking same thing where we take on all these extra roles and just stress ourselves out.
Yeah, but it's also in a short film. Like you got to see the whole thing through. Like, because it's like no one's really like getting paid, and it's your baby, and like you wouldn't trust anyone doing it even if they were paid. Like,
it's like
so
the
you
sound
just do
design.
it.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
just do it all
sound
yourself.
designer.
Yeah.
Sound design does sound pretty good though. So, no, I'm excited. The mix sounds decent. No, it sounds good. The audio was a bit shitty in the garden scene. That we filmed at yours, because there was a lot of wind but we cleaned and it sounds pristine, crisp.
Thank God, yeah.
95%.
Yeah.
That's okay.
5% is that garden scene where at points sounds a tiny bit robotic.
What's
Like, what
this
time is
person
it?
looking
It's 6 o'clock. I think it's time
it's
for us
theirs.
to come in.
Okay.
But yeah, and that's that basically. All right. Well, that's my progress. Let's wrap this up. Lexi, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. We're just getting kicked out.
Yeah, we're getting kicked out. We appreciate you.
Thank you,
You're
guys.
amazing.
Likewise. Well done,
Congratulations for
both
all
of
your
you.
successes.
Thank you. And
Thank
well
you.
done for getting on casting. Exciting.
you.
Good
Yeah.
luck with locations. I'll send you some stuff.
Thank you.
And good luck with the premiere. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
I will be
We'll
helping.
see you there.
I will see you there.
Perfect. All right, guys. We will,
Tie a little bow in this episode.
and we'll catch you next week. Catch us at the pre-production meeting, wherever you get your podcast, YouTube, the Pre-Pod Pod on Instagram, and we'll catch you.
Bye.
Ciao.